Hello and welcome to another episode of Solo Inter podcast where we talk everything Inter, the previews, reviews, match results, transfers, and everything in between. What a weekend it was. I mean, I literally had a headache for the match going down again. I was like, not again, not again, not again. We are dropping points. This is not going to happen. Luckily, we turned around and finally we were able to beat Cranio. I mean, every keeper turns as a Superman against us, and I thought the curse was still there. Parmeshwar, coming to you, was your heart in your mouth as well for the match?
Yeah, of course. I mean, as you said, Gotham, we left it so late, right, to make a comeback. And the final scoreline, if someone who hasn't watched the match is probably gonna think, Inter dominated and won 3-1 or something, had no issues. But that was I mean, that was quite stressful to watch, yeah. Like, I mean, Cranio, as you said, he saved everything, like he was actually reacting to everything, moving for everything, unlike I don't want to say anything, but like unlike someone we have, but like yeah, but it was a really tough one because Cagliari didn't really want to attack that much, and because they've been conceding a lot recently, and I had a feeling they would sit back, and that's what they did. And then you could see initially Ericsson was doing really well. He was trying. He had that one flick to Lukaku. That could have been a goal, but Cranio again. So yeah, I mean, initially we started off the game well. It was the same thing, the same story as usual for this season, right, Gotham? Like we created so many chances, a lot of them, but we just couldn't score. And then in the end, the usual happened where the opposition ended up taking the lead. One lapse in error by Skriniar and Darmian, and then of course the debate was that if whether Handanovic could have saved that or not, or maybe if he didn't save it, he should have at least moved. But I guess those things are different. But overall, I think what I'm glad to see, Gotham, is the reaction from the team. I was reading a stat on Opta Paolo the other day, which said that Inter are the second team in Europe's top five leagues to actually make the most comebacks after being down. I think it's what 10 times or something, if I'm not like or something like that. I'm not sure, but that's just behind Manchester United, and it's really close. So that goes to show the fighting spirit, at least in the team. It goes to show the team is playing for the coach if anybody still has those doubts. But also at the same time, I think Gotham, it's not a good thing if you see, because why are we conceding so much? Like, I mean, forgetting why we are conceding a lot, as Conte has also pointed out. But overall, I'm glad. Like, just at the end of, I remember Manish saying before also, all that matters right now is winning, and the 3 points is what mattered, and I'm happy with that. Yeah.
Yeah, coming to you, Manish, as Perm said, that we have the mentality, but this cannot happen every game wherein like we have to fall behind to become awake again and then play. I mean, against big teams, or even if you see against Shakhtar, when we needed that mentality, it didn't work out. Like in the league, it's fine, but when it comes to like bigger teams in the league as well, I don't think it'll always work out. But what do you think? Like, is the mentality right, or as Parmeshwar said, we are conceding too much, and we should score first in every game, right?
Yes, so Gautam, this game particularly, I thought we started off very well in a right foot. We had a lot of chances, and surprisingly, Conti surprised everybody by starting Ericsson. I think the formation was supposed to be 3-5-2, which Conti intended to play 3-5-2 formation, but Ericsson for some reason was thinking it's 3-4-1-2. So Ericsson was playing the advanced role in the first 15 odd minutes or so. I thought he played really well. He had like two assists surely on goal, one to Lukaku, a brilliant left-footed pass to Lukaku. Also, another pass to Bastoni, which he just blasted from close range. So I thought Ericsson fitted really well in the formation. And it's not like we didn't take the match seriously. We took it seriously. The first 20 minutes, we had numerous chances, and yet again, we failed to score. So this type of chances we should not miss. And the keeper played a tremendous match. Their keeper Kragner was really good. And the previous Champions League match, if you check, I thought Shakhtar, the keeper, there again he did well. And Conti told after the match in Champions League that their keeper was the man of the match. So I was expecting a similar type of Conti press conference that he will yet again say, "Oh, what can we do?" Their keeper was again the man of the match, which pretty much went till the end that way. But thank God we finally scored. I was really disappointed the goal we conceded. It was really lapse in concentration, I think, by the whole team. We blocked the shot, and that guy had all the time and all the space to come back and take the rebound on his left foot and score. The fault, I feel, belongs to Handanovic, because you could see the person in front of you. He's taking a shot. There were no surprises. There were no deflections. If there were anything, any sort, okay, we can understand the keeper was wrong-footed or missed. The only angle he could take is in the far post, and Handanovic was completely surprised. Like, I really don't know what I've been blaming him a lot this season, but this season I think his reaction has gone 2 notches down. So it's just something which we have to address, because if you're playing any quality opposition, any shot they pretty much shoot is going to go in at this point. Our defense is playing good, so I have no complaints. Skriniar, Divrai, Bastoni are the best three we have at this moment. They are really good, and I'm so glad Skriniar is back in the lineup. You can see that. Before, you could see that D'Ambrosio was a weak link, but in this, he really covered well. Also, not to say the man of the moment, D'Ambrosio, our savior. He always comes up with these far post headers, and I think if you check the stats for 2020, after Lukaku and Martinez, he has scored most amount of goals. So that important, that vital is. So always, won't be surprised from now on if Conti brings him the last 5 or 10 minutes to come on to score those valuable headers. And how many goals has he scored in the far post? Oh my God, this guy's been really a vital part. Although he will not help us defensively, not help us offensively, but to score those vital goals is really important to the team, D'Ambrosio. End of the day, 3-1 result, a very good result, a good comeback from a disappointing Champions League loss. That draw felt like a loss for us. So overall, a good result. And now we look forward to this league. I'm happy Conte set his priorities straight on the league. Like last week we discussed, this should be the way going forward, the league. So all in all, a good result, a good team performance, and Barella, outstanding player.
Yeah, Parmeshwar, coming to you, like Manish also said that even Shakhtar keeper saved our shots and now Kranjo saved our shots. Is this a reflection of our finishing, or is it a reflection of the keepers then? Because if it happens every match, then there has to be some fault with our strikers if they're not able to be clinical. It cannot always be that all the keepers are playing good against us. It has to be somewhere, the blame has to be with our strikers as well. And also, look at the way we miss easy chances, and then you have bangers like what Barella scored, and even D'Ambrosio, what he did was really good. Like, how is this, like, the contradiction with the goals we miss and the goals we score? I mean, that's happening like almost every game now.
Kudos to Barella. I didn't point out about his performance. He scored Inter's 5,000 goal, and that guy's a machine. Even with being partially fit, he put in a top-notch performance. And yeah, coming to your question, Gautam, the thing is, I don't think it's that much to do. It's a bit of both, actually. The thing is, keepers do turn up against us. Cranio, he's one of the keepers we are shortlisting for the future. And you could see why. You could see his point-blank saves. He saved everything. And even Trubin for Shakhtar, they were just good saves. I have to give credit where it's due. But on top, leaving that aside, there have been moments where we have missed sitters, right? Let's not forget, like, Lautaro's open goal missed again away to Shakhtar Donetsk. That should have been scored. Like, as Conte has said before, and has said multiple times, even after the draw against Shakhtar at home, he said, we create so many chances, like so many chances, but we, in the end, like, we just don't take them, like, whatever it is. Like, I don't know what happens. There's a bit of panic, whatever sets in, but it's just those minor issues that come back to bite us at times. So it's a bit of both, Gautam. And yeah, I mean, you could say players like Lautaro especially need to be more clinical, and I expect that more from Alexis also, because Alexis this season hasn't scored much. He's always more towards creating, but he hesitates to shoot. Like, I've noticed that a lot. He prefers passing it, to the nearest option, but he needs to shoot more often. But yeah, overall, I think it's a bit of both. And I think, as if Conte believes that going down the same path, eventually we're going to improve, then so be it. Let's see how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, and also AC Milan drew. I mean, they're supposed to lose, but then last minute equalizer and drop points from AC Milan, which is good for us. Do you think it'll be a tight Serie A race this year now with AC Milan also dropping points?
Oh yes, definitely. I was just watching Conte's press conference an hour ago, and he was asked the same question. Will the head-to-head matches actually come more into this thing play than ever before. And that's absolutely right, I feel. He also accepted that, and I think that's right because it's so close, Gotham. Milan, like as you said, they were going to lose that match. Like, and it's probably not, it wasn't to be for us. They ended up drawing it, but again, that's still drop points, yeah. Like that's still two drop points, and that's good for us. So there's Napoli as well, who we'll face now in this week. So it's really close. There's going to be Juventus right up there. You cannot count them out, Gotham. And yeah, it's probably the tightest Serie A title race for a long time. Like you have four teams involved. That could change, of course. That could change later down the line. But yeah, I mean, our part is to just keep winning matches. Of course, easier said than done. We just see Napoli now. We have to face them. They're much better than what the Napoli we played last season. That wasn't the main Napoli we have seen. Like this team is much stronger. So yeah, it's going to be a challenge. But I feel that it's not that AC Milan's going to run away with this, or it's going to be Juventus running away with this. This time, these four teams, Inter, Milan, Napoli, Juventus, they're really well equipped to put up a big fight. Yeah.
Yeah, Manish, coming to you, the same question. Like, how do you feel the title race going this season? It's very tight at the top, and it looks like everyone will drop points, and then everyone will come back and win matches. Like we have seen it this week. Like, how do you think it'll shape up this year?
So one thing's for sure is you can never count Juventus out. Okay, AC Milan is there at this moment, but Juventus are the main title contenders. They have been defending this championship for last 9 years. So I think they very well intend to go for the 10th year. So let's not count them out, just 1 point behind us. So right now the table looks very fancy and stuff with AC Milan leading 3 points ahead. But like I said, our main concern should not be AC Milan. It's a very young team. It's obviously very excited. But now you see when slowly injuries start creeping up and a couple of issues happen, AC Milan will struggle. So yes, they dropped 2 points against Parma. That has been really a lifeline for us because we were catching up at the top. But saying that match, if you check, they hit the post 4 times. I think Çalhanoğlu himself hit the post 3 times. So pretty much without Zlatan, they're coping well. Everyone thinks without Zlatan, Milan will struggle, but they're so far doing well. It's a young team, but yet again, I'm keep repeating this. AC Milan should not be a concern. Our main concern should be Juventus. Right now, if you check the table, I think the top 7 standings, I think a couple of them are 21 points to 27. There are 6 or 7 teams in the same, like we would say, matter of 6 points gap. So it's a very close race, I think, for the longest time. I'm happy at least both the Milan teams are on top. Juventus is catching up. Napoli is really playing good. So right now, if you check, a lot of teams are playing best football. Roma is playing really good. You could see Atlanta also is winning. Juventus is up there. Inter. So I think it's first time in a really long time we're going to see a very open challenge. But saying that, season's just begun. It's just like 10 games out. So it's still like 2/3 of the season still remaining. But so far, if this is going to happen, it's going to be really exciting and fun season to watch this season.
Yeah, Manish, sticking with you itself, like, do you think now that completely going out of Europe will be a blessing for in such a close season wherein everyone's so tight knit, but now other teams have European commitments, whereas we fucked it all up and now we have no Europe. So do you think it's better for us now in the title race?
So Gautam, one thing we were so glad, I think all of us are glad, we cannot deny this, is that we had a huge squad. Squad depth was immense. We were so proud of it at the beginning of the season. And I think Raja and Nainggolan being in the team was like another signing for us. And I'm sure that everyone was excited for that. But saying that, like you said, it's just an illusion, the squad depth. Like Conte just said us in the last conference, some of them are just to warm the bench and just for name's sake, they're on the bench. So now that we're out of Europe, I expect a complete like change of direction from the management. A lot of players are going to be shipped out. Now that we don't have European commitments, so players like Pinamonti, Nainggolan, or Vecino, I'm sure these three are definitely tutored to leave this. And Perisic has been linked to leave the club. So we might be losing a lot of players. And in return, I don't expect a lot of signings, maybe 1 or 2 vital signings. But saying that, yes, a good small squad will help everyone to remain motivated. Like now we saw having a huge squad, the motivation has been a clear issue. Conte's not able to get hold of the group. And if you use one player, the other person is going to complain. So that will keep going on. And Conte rightly said in the last conference, if somebody has to play for more minutes, other players have to leave. So we could say goodbye to Eriksen, goodbye to, I feel Perisic also might leave because he's like on temporary situation put on the left wing. Unless we get an adequate replacement, a lot of change is going to happen. So being out of Europe again, it's I think a blessing in disguise, because if you check the group winners, the other side, it's been really strong. And just imagine if you're taking the place of Mönchengladbach, we would be facing Manchester City. Now, what are the odds of us beating Man City? So Man City again, they're struggling in the EPL league, but pretty much a very very strong team. So I don't think we would have won that game, with all due respect to Inter. But I think we need a couple more years to challenge in European competitions. So saying that, I'm glad altogether we're out of Europe. Initially, I thought Europa League would be good for us, but now seeing the way Conte performs his best playing in single competition like league. You won with title with US, you won the title with Chelsea being out of Europe. So let's hope this is a blessing in disguise. We're completely out so that we can focus on our immediate objectives, that is the league or the Coppa Italia. So happy with that, Gautam.
Yeah, Parmeshwar, coming to you, like as Manish said, like Conte said in the press conference that we don't have bench strength. They're just there for appearance. That's it. They're not effective. But most of our match winners have come from bench. Even last match, it was D'Ambrosio who made the difference. So do you think these kind of comments are warranted from a coach? And especially when he says the squad is too big and I can't handle such a big squad. For a top team, you should be able to handle all top players. And it won't be like one player per position. There will be depth. So if Conte says, oh, I can't handle depth, does it mean that if we stick on next year as well with Conte, we'll have just 20 players who will get tired again and again will be bumped out of Champions League and Europe altogether?
Yeah, I mean, I was a bit confused, not confused, but I couldn't make up what to say after what he said about those things. The depth, as Banish pointed out, he said they're only there for appearance, appearance and just to warm the bench. But like this was the problem last season. Like the depth is what we lacked. The quality in depth and all. And then he complained about that as well. I remember, we had so many injuries, Gotham, and then we missed the depth. Right now, the thing is we have it, but as Manish pointed out, it is sort of an illusion because players like Nainggolan don't step up. I know he doesn't get the chances, but he's injured right now. That's one. Second, he doesn't look motivated enough to me, at least. He just feels out of it. He doesn't care much. So I think he should be one that should be shipped out immediately. Maybe I was reading a few reports, not very credible sources, but I was just reading that maybe Vecino gets a chance once he's back to full fitness. Like, I don't know if we should give him that chance. If shipping Vecino, Nainggolan, and maybe even Eriksen for that matter can help us bring in Rodrigo De Paul, then I'm all for it. But I mean, coming to the question wherein he should be that critical or not, I mean, he does have a point, what else do you say about Nainggolan, Gautam? Like, I had hopes from him as well at the start of the season. I thought he'll work hard to, get into the team, but clearly something's wrong over there, yeah. Pinamonti is just injured, so you can't do much about it, and he's not, he isn't that kind of a striker you need. He's not good enough. He's young, he's raw, so he's not ready for it. He should be another one shipped out. But I don't blame Conte entirely. I know it's a stupid thing to say because at the end of the day, as you said, players from the bench have been making difference as well. D'Ambrosio, that Fiorentina match, Alexis, if these guys do make a difference. But I think what basically he knew whom he was referring to. He knew whom he was talking about. So he's not wrong, but he needs to, of course, be careful about what he says. And yeah, I mean, he isn't like, when you have a large group, it affects your training sessions. Everybody takes up, some sort of, let's say space or, their own time to understand a certain drill or to get into that flow of things during a training session. Yeah. So that does affect your training sessions on a whole. Now, just imagine just go back to before we let the likes of Dalbert and all go, that would have been a huge squad and that could have been problematic. So he isn't wrong that we need to let some players go. I'm absolutely for that. If it was up to me, I would let Vecino go, I would let Nainggolan go, I would let Pinamonti go for sure. And Perisic, I'm not sure. Like, Perisic may be on the way out, but even if we let him go, can we actually get a replacement even on loan? It's a tough thing. I don't know if we can get a better player. Like it seems to me that Perisic as a player is slowly, trying to get into that role, and he hasn't been great, but he hasn't been bad either. He's actually doing the defensive bits right, I feel. Going forward, he isn't being able to find himself in the right positions and to be able to cross. But I don't know. I would keep on Perisic. If you really can't get a better replacement or someone really good, I wouldn't let Perisic go personally. But yeah, I mean, I'm all for letting Rajan and Golan go. It frees up what, 4 million in wages. That's a lot. And then you can sign someone like, somehow make things work out, sign Rodrigo De Paul. I was just reading a few rumors before Gotham and by some credible sources that, as we know, Alejandro Papu Gomez is on his way out of Atalanta, most likely. He could be available on a free, and he apparently doesn't want to go out of Italy. So, that's another market opportunity, and even AC Milan are being linked with him. That's one. We are surprisingly being linked with Hakan Çalhanoğlu since he's having contract renewal issues with Milan, but that's at the end of the season, not someone I'm keen on. But I would maybe, if available on a free transfer, I wouldn't mind Papu Gomez. Like we say that Eriksen doesn't work much of the ball, but Papu Gomez is the exact opposite. Yeah, he really runs a lot. He's exactly the Conte sort of player. But the only issue is that you would have to go back to a 3-4-1-2, which has been very problematic for us. So yeah, there's a lot of dilemma. But to answer your question, Gautam, in simple, I would definitely ship 3 players out of this team, and that's Vecino, Nainggolan, and Pinamonti. Yeah.
Yeah, Manish, coming to you, like how do you feel with this transfer rumors of Papu Gomez coming in and we are interested? Like, do you think it fits the squad considering that Ericsson will be shipped out for exactly like how Parmeshwar said, you have to go back to 3-4-1-2 again then?
So, with the rumors of Papu Gomez, I definitely love Papu Gomez. He's a very good quality player. But two things we have to note. One is age is catching up. He will be 33 next season. And he fits best in 3-4-3 formation. And Gasperini plays a different style of football as compared to Conte. And I just want to point out, like, whenever Atlanta players leave Atlanta, they tend to struggle. We've seen that with Gagliardini. We've seen that with Lord Caldara and a lot of other players too who are left Atlanta, because Atlanta's school of football is different. It's very attacking philosophy. So Papu Gomez fits there really well. Saying that, I don't think he would fit in our Conti system right now. As Parmeshwar pointed out, we don't use the 3-4-1-2 formation anymore. He would prefer a more defensive option because he's been crying out loud for a long time. He wants a proper anchor man, a proper defensive role. So if we ever sell Eriksen, it will be a more defensive player, not an offensive player. The only offensive player I see as of now is a wise Lukaku. Most of it, we try to get Giroud. That would be a good buy. And Perisic has been struggling the left wing back. He's not that good. He's not that effective, but he's on high wages and he has some sort of market value. So it'd be sense to sell him at this point, this stage, to any German teams that are looking for him. So if you ask me, I would suggest my first priority would be on a left wing back, second priority on a central midfielder, and third priority would be as a backup to Lukaku. These are the main signings. Signing players just because on free doesn't mean it'll help us. We've seen that whenever we sign players on free transfer, no matter how good players they seem, they never tend to shine for us. I don't know why. That's a curse we have. But Stefan De Vrij has been one of the best free transfers, I would say. But other than that, we got Diego Godin. We struggled with him. We got Sanchez. We're struggling with his hefty wages and his age is catching up. So, and Papu Gomez pretty much reached that phase of his career where age is catching up on him. So I don't think he would be able to run, like Parmeshi pointed out, like a few seasons back, he used to run. I don't think he would be able to do that following seasons coming up. So yeah, but I was reading the rumors between Granit Xhaka swap for Eriksen. I think that would be a really foolish move because Granit Xhaka is one of the. I think he's Arsenal captain, but when Arsenal players hate him. I read comment that Thierry Henry stopped watching Arsenal because of Granit Xhaka as the captain. So that pathetic player we don't need in our squad. So I hope the Inter management uses Eriksen in intelligent transfers as a swap deal with maybe Bayern Munich or with Real Madrid for Isco. Those would be real quality buys. Yeah, that's my take, Gautam. And also mentioning about Cragno, the rumors are that Cragno will come from Nainggolan. I would be on for it. I'm really happy. I've seen this guy. This guy's been Italy's number 3, third choice keeper. He's really good. And from what I've seen, I like the guy. So I would happy to sign him this January, as maybe Handanovic is understudy. So he takes half a season to get ready, and maybe next season onwards he can start for us. That's my take for the transfer market.
Nice. So, Parmeshwar, coming to the Napoli match, like last weekend, your Napoli came back from one goal down and won the match at home.
Mm.
And now, I mean, I wanted to say we always beat Napoli whenever it's required. So I am not that for it. But then you put water all over it, saying that this is not the Napoli of last season. This is a different Napoli altogether. So, what are your expectations for the match? What would be Conte's approach according to you, the formation and the tactics?
See, the thing, just to begin with, the thing last season with Napoli was, Gautam, that they had a lot of internal problems. Ancelotti started out as the coach and they had a bit of falling out with ADL and everything and all that. And then Gattuso took over halfway. So, of course, Gattuso being inexperienced as a coach, I know he did a pretty decent, more than decent job with AC Milan. I'm not saying that, but taking over teams halfway, that he had to gel in, and he had to get to know the players. So of course we could take advantage of all of that last season, but coming to this season and looking forward to the match, Gautam, this is a completely different Napoli. Even the last season they ended up winning the Coppa Italia. Let's not forget. Second of all, this team has been, as you said, Gautam, they made a comeback against Sampdoria. They thrashed Atalanta in 45 minutes, 4-0. That they ended that match in like 45 minutes. That was one. They're a well-drilled team. They usually change their tactics based on the opposition. So, I remember when they played us last season in the Coppa Italia, when they knocked us out and beat the first leg, when they beat us at the San Siro. They sat back and they covered all spaces completely, making it difficult for us to break them down. So mostly they play depending on the opposition. You have good players in there like, Dries Mertens, Herving Lozano, Lorenzo Insigne, who are on form. Mertens is their top scorer right now with 6 goals, and Lozano, unlike last season, has been flying high. He has four goals as well, and a couple of assists. And if I'm not like, if correct me if I'm wrong, like they always play this against. They don't shy away from playing this fluid brand of football. Their one-touch football, their passing is so efficient. Then of course at the back you have got players like Koulibaly, and in midfield Fabian Ruiz. So this is not going to be easy. Gattuso knows his team now. As far as how they would want to play, I remember their match against AC Milan when they actually lost at San Siro. Away from home at San Paolo. They actually were surprised by a team sitting back. AC Milan chose to sit back, and that made things harder for them. They didn't know what to do. So this could maybe prove to be an advantage for Conte, maybe because we are good defensively, as you know. If we cut their midfield out with a narrow shape, it could be possible that they are completely clueless. I've noticed a few things about their players like Kostas Manolas, who is expected to be one of the best defenders in the league, but in my opinion, he's been subpar for Napoli so far. He's really confused with how to distribute the ball, and as we know, Lautaro Martinez loves pressing. That's his best attribute, in my opinion. So we could really take the game to them in that sense. You press their weak links, and you target their weak links like Manolas. At times, Politano. I just want to, since it's Inter Napoli, I just want to point out how important Politano has been for them off the bench, scoring, assisting. So yeah, it's not going to be easy, Gautam. I feel Gattuso will try to sit back more. I think this time he's not going to take it that much. I think both teams will start off on a cautious note. Feel the match out. See what each team wants to do. And I feel in this game, I hope Hakimi is fit for tomorrow. But this is because I feel this is a good one where he can actually take it to Napoli. They have Mario Rui as left back, who's not really good defensively. So I think this is a game where we really need Hakimi. So let's see. But I'm expecting that both teams will really start on a cautious note. It's not going to be, I think, Napoli flying out or us flying out, because we have balance issues. As we concede so much. Napoli, on the other hand, they're really good with what they do. So I think both teams are going to start on a cautious note.
Yeah, and what do you think will be the formation Conte might use against Napoli?
The formation is going to be 3-5-2. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, like we're not going to go back to 3-4-1-2. It's going to be Handanovic, Skriniar, De Vrij, Bastoni. That's pretty much the same. Left wing back, that's a bit confusing. I have a feeling he'll go back to Ashley Young. I know Ashley Young has not been good off late. He's had his share of issues, but I think he's going to go back to Ashley Young. I think Eriksen is going to be relegated to the bench again. I think it's going to be Brozovic, Barella, Gagliardini, since Vidal is still not available, as Conte confirmed an hour ago. And right wing back, he said we'll assess Hakimi's situation. So if he's available, I feel he's going to start. And up front, there's no doubt, since Alexis is also not available, it's going to be Lautaro Lukaku. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And if I had to predict Napoli's lineup just quickly, Ospina and Alex Meret have had the same number of starts. So I think Ospina would start at right back. You'll have Giovanni Di Lorenzo, Costas Manolas, Koulibaly making up the centre backs, left back Mario Rui. And the midfield is something we need to look out for, Gotham. It has Bakayoko, Fabian Ruiz, Zielinski, and of course, Mertens up front, left wing Insigne, and right wing Lozano. They've been really good this season going forward. A lot of goals plus assists, so we really need to be careful.
Yeah, Manish, coming to you, what are your thoughts on the match against Napoli? Do you feel that we have a good chance of beating Napoli this time?
So Gattuso, as a coach, he has impressed a lot. He has impressed me a lot, and every press conference, you could see him. That guy, he has the authority. If you've heard his press conference, he gave a statement. He wants his team to work really hard, and he's saying some people might love me, some people might wake up in the morning and see my picture. So his press conference, you tend to laugh. So, but what I'm trying to say is this guy demands a lot from his team, Gattuso. So he's again a very tactically astute coach. So pretty much they've been using the 4-2-3-1 formation, and they play heavily on the wings, like Parmesan pointed out. One side Insigne is pretty much guaranteed on the left side. Right side is going to be Lozano and Politano fighting for the right wing spots. So they're pretty much going to attack the spaces which we leave. So seeing that, and I think Conte, whenever you play attacking teams, he plays a defensive formation. I've been saying that. Maybe that's a strategy, like absorb the pressure and then release. This game had been perfectly fit for Hakimi, as Napoli tend to attack, and Hakimi can exploit the spaces. And whenever attacking teams come into attack, Inter can counter attack. But now, if we don't have Hakimi in the team, so it's going to be Darmian pretty much on the right wing. So and the midfield is going to be, like Parmesan pointed out, Brozovic, Barella, and Gagliardini. So pretty much the backline three is going to remain the same: Skriniar, De Vrij, Bastoni, which has been performing for us for the last couple of games. And the more they play together, the more they are communicating better. So I don't find any changes. So pretty much Inter to use the same 3-5-2 formation with Skriniar, De Vrij, Bastoni in the back three, Darmian, Brozovic, Gagliardini, and Barella. And in the left wing, I think Ashley Young is going to start. And their strikers are pretty much no other fit strikers we have. So it's going to be Lukaku and Martinez. So yeah, what the approach is going to be is we're going to absorb Napoli's thing. First 15-20 minutes is going to be like both testing the waters. Napoli will be cautious. We also will be cautious. But what I feel Conte is going to let them take the initiative and we exploit on the break. Saying that we're playing at San Siro. So that's where the tricky part is. So saying that how Conte would approach the game, I'm actually quite interested to know about that. Because if it's definitely in Sao Paulo Stadium or Maradona Stadium, like they call it nowadays, I would think Inter to sit back completely. But now that you're playing San Siro, I would think we would take the initiative to attack. And the best part is the tussle between Koulibaly and Lukaku. Last season, it was a treat for football fans to watch because both are on top of the game. Lukaku is known for his strength and power. Same said Koulibaly is known for the same speed and power. So the tussle between the two is going to be a very interesting matchup, and I'm excited to watch. And they have very good long-range shooters. Zielinski is a very good player. Fabian Ruiz, he scored a beautiful goal against us. And let's not forget Politano. He has a point to prove against us. So, he's going to cut back from the left side and shoot long-range shot. So all in all, a very exciting match, a very big match. If this match we can win, definitely it proves our credentials for the title. Gautam.
Yeah, so now coming to the predictions, Manish, I'll stick with you first. What do you think will be the scoreline?
Like I said, my record has been always good. Each time I predicted a draw, Inter has won. So I'm going with the same. I'm going with a surprisingly high-scoring draw, 3-3 draw.
Okay, and Parmesha, what do you think will be the scoreline?
Yeah, just to quickly cap off, Manish brought up Koulibaly, Lukaku. That's going to be an interesting battle. And I saw Koulibaly struggle against Zlatan this season. The physical figure, the tall figure. So I think Lukaku is going to have a good game. And I think maybe 2-1 win for us. Yeah.
Okay. So, I was going to go for a 2-1 win. So I'll stick to that. Yeah, I think it's going to be a 2-1 win. Tense game again. Maybe we'll concede first, maybe not. But yeah, I think we are going to win 2-1. So there you have it, folks. That's another episode of Solo Inter. Please let us know in the comments, what do you think? What do you think of Conte's comments? What do you think will be the result against Napoli? And do you think it's a blessing in disguise that we're out of Europe? Thank you.